that's what I was thinking. She went and got these 3 jars, put them on the table with candles on, floss on top of them. So I'm sitting there looking at her. And she said, I need you to hold my hand and concentrate, you know, go through all this.
Did you know what a seance was? Like a what?
No, that's why I said, you know, I'm looking at her doing all this stuff, and I was telling her she was weird, you know. She asked me to stay, so I want to see what she had to talk about. And she says, I'm going to hold your hand. She said, and I want you to think about Uncle Johnny. That's my dad. Mm-hmm. She said, and because he got something he wants to come and tell you.
My God.
And my thing is, he died when I was 10 years old. Mm-hmm. You going to come back, I'm 33 now, and tell me something? I don't think so. And so I held the hand, but I wasn't about to blank my mind and think about him at all. I'm thinking if he get back here tonight, it'll be because you thought of him on your own. I ain't going out there.
Yeah, I know that's
so
right.
I'm holding her hand, you know. So then she said, I think she kind of realized that I wasn't picking up on the spirit. Mm-hmm. She said, I tell you what we're going to do. She said, go get me a beer and get you a champagne. She said, I'm going to roll us a joint. She said, we got to get off into this thing. I said, okay. So I go get the beer for her, get the champagne for me. I come back, and she had a cigarette in the ashtray next to me, and she finna light hers. She said, we're going to smoke this and drink our drink. She said, and maybe we can really get off into it. I said, okay. I'm thinking to myself, that ain't going to work either. So we smoked. She was smoking what she was smoking, and I took about maybe 6 or 7 puffs off. I finally started feeling it, and then I put it down. And she said, oh no, go on and smoke. I said, that's enough for me. Because to me, it was reacting too fast. Marijuana never reacted that quick with me. So I knew that this had to be real potent because it was reacting fast. So I put it down. And so I drank some of the champagne. So she said, well, now hold my hand and just concentrate on Uncle Johnny. So I held her hand again. And I'm still thinking, I'm high as a dog right now. Whatever it's there. But I'm thinking, I'm still not going to think about this dead man. He's my dad, but I'm not going to think about him. I ain't too high to know what you're talking about. And after a few minutes, I started feeling my feet got really like somebody was rubbing ice on my legs and my feet. And I'm still holding her hand when she's talking, but I'm concentrating on the fact that my legs and my feet is cold. And she kept talking, and the cold was coming all up my legs, and she kept talking, and I'm feeling it, and then feel like my body was getting weak, and I don't know, my head was just getting, and she was holding my hand. So finally, I let her hand go, and I remember my hand dropped in my lap, and my head fell back, and she goes, what's wrong? And I raised my head up long enough to look at her, and it looked like she was jumping on the other side. And I said, help me. And she said, oh, you don't need no help. You'll be all right. And I managed to muster up enough strength to say, please help me. And she said, oh, I did. I hope you'll be all right. And I looked at her, and my head fell back again. And that time, I didn't have enough strength to bring it back. Wow. And my arms flapped down. And by the end, the coldness was up here. I could think and I could see her, but I couldn't speak no more. Wow. And all of this was getting cold, and it came to me just as clear as a bell. You dead. Wow. I'm serious. Just like that. I'm serious. God is my witness. You're dead. I thought this woman done killed me. This woman done killed me. And so I'm yeah, I'm like, this woman done killed me. This woman done killed me. So I'm laying back there, head back, arms down, and I spot this picture of Jesus. Wow. Little old block picture of Jesus. And it was on the back end of a incense can sitting on a shelf, like to the wall. And with my head back, my eyes hit that picture. He had just his head with the thorns on his head and blood right in his face. My eyes hit that picture, and I could still think. And I knew that this was it, because I was cold all up here. And I thought in my mind, with every ounce of strength I had, Peggy, I mean, that's all I had left. I said, Lord, save me.
Woo, my God.
In my mind. I could only do it one time, but that one time was like gold. You hear me? Because I meant it with everything. That's all I had. That's all I had. That's all I had. I'm telling you, I knew it was a God. Woo, I love Miss Celia. I love Miss Celia. I know it's a God, honey. I know it's a God.
Like Miss Celia say, I know
it's a God. I said, Lord, save me. And at that moment, I felt myself going over like this out the chair, falling. And I don't even remember hitting the floor. Next thing I remember is I see paramedics messing with me. And they saying, well, she's gone. We're going to have to call it in. We can't do no more CPR or whatever. We just going to have to call it in. And I'm saying, no, don't bother me. No. No!
But they can't hear you.
No, of course not.
Because this is going on in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they get me up off the floor. They put me on the stretcher, and I'm like, ah! No! My mom's friend comes up. She comes through the door. She steps around them behind me, and she looks at my mom. She said, Ruth, what happened? She said, I heard something hard hit the floor, and when the paramedics pulled up, she said, what happened? She said, I don't know. We were just sitting here drinking and talking. All of a sudden, she just fell out the chair. They said she was dead. I said, that's
what you were saying in your mind. But they couldn't hear you.
Wherever I was, that's what I was saying. No. That is not what happened. Listen to me. No. Nobody could hear me, but I was having a fit up there somewhere. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, I mean, no warning, no nothing. I was just snatched like, swoop. And next thing I see is like beautiful trees, a beautiful sky, and I'm looking around, all these beautiful flowers, and I'm like, God, what is this? And I'm walking in the grass, and the grass is just, parting away. And I go to the bridge, get to the bridge, and the fish in the bridge, all kind of colored fish, diamonds and pearls and gems, all kind of stuff you can see clean to the bottom of the water. And I'm just like, oh my God, oh Lord, what is this? And I'm going through this little pathway, and I get to the other side of the bridge, and the grass is just parted back. The flowers kind of lean to the side, and they all turn. They look at me in their past, and they smile and bow their head. I'm like, oh my God, flowers is alive. They're smiling. All colors, all kinds. I'm like, oh my God, look at this. And the path is just making a way for me. And I go up to the trees, and the trees bow, and then they all lean to the side. I'm like, oh my God. And there's a big old beautiful city, look like crystals and diamonds back there. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this place?
My God.
And the Spirit of God spoke to me and said, this is where you live when you get here.
Wow. You was in heaven.
I said, okay, I'm ready. He said, no, not yet. I'm like, oh, yeah, I am. I'm ready. I'm ready right now. I'm serious. I'm ready. He said, no, you have to go back. I have a job for you to do. I don't want to do it.
It was so beautiful there.
Yeah.
You didn't want to leave.
I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to tell him I didn't want to do his job. So I'm like, this is where I'm going to stay. That when you come back, this is where you're going to stay. He said, I'm sending an angel of mercy home with you.
Wow.
To teach you my word. To teach you how and what I would have you to do. He said, if you're obedient to me and my word, and you live by my rules, the best of your knowledge with much strength as you can, he said, I will dwell with you forever. He said, you'll become part of me, and I'll become part of you. He said, we'll unite as one. He said, so whatever you want, I will give you your heart's desire and more.
Wow.
But you need to do what I asked you to do. And I was like, okay, okay, but why can't I just stay? Because it's not your time. He said, I have a task for you to do.
Wow.
He said, I'm sending you back with the spirit of Moses.
Listen to this. Listen to this.
I'm sending you back with the spirit of Moses. I said, well, okay, because I can't talk good. No way. And he said, you don't worry about that. You open your mouth and I speak through you.
My God.
He said, when your faith reaches its peak, you can speak and I'm going to show up.
Wow.
He said, all you got to do is think about what you want me to do.
Wow.
And I'm going to be at your side.
Wow.
I said, okay, so I'm going to be trained. He said, you're going to be trained. The angel of mercy will take you back.
Wow.
This something came across my face like this here. But it was a big old wing. And I looked and I couldn't see no head. I just saw light. And I saw all this body like packed thing. And he said, I am the angel of mercy. Wow. I'm sent here to take you home. He said, I will dwell with you for 3 months. Woo. And I said, okay. And I said, well, okay, when do we go? He said, we leave now.